When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind at speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.
Hey, welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson. With more than 2 decades in sales, I've seen it, been through it, heard about it. Now I'm bringing it to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. So let's be honest, this is the greatest job on earth. Doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what personality type, you can create an amazing life in sales. And today's guest is definitely no stranger to the journey. I'd like to welcome Joanna Zhang to the show. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
I'm excited. I want to jump right in. I was checking out your profile, so I want to hear your crazy sales story because I got lots of questions.
All right. Yeah. So do you want me to give you something heads up, or what would you like me to?
Just whatever story you've got for us that you think is going to help the sales, listeners understand, that you're a part of the community and you've been with it a long time.
Oh, right, cool. My crazy story is I'm not afraid of sales, to be starting with. I didn't think that was in the sales field, but until I really realized everything around us is around the sales. But my biggest turnaround point can be my intention was really different before and after my soul awakening. So I used to try so hard on the sales field to really with a pushing energy to really try to get the deals come across. But now I'm actually in the surrender flow that I'm just being myself and things just happen magically. So that can be my crazy story.
Yeah, well, and I think there's a lot of nuance to that because a lot of times in sales, people have these roller coasters, right? It's really good. You make a lot of sales, you make a lot of money, you're feeling good, and then you stop doing all the things that you were supposed to be doing that was make sales. So then things aren't so good. And you get scarcity and you're going, all right, I've got to get this deal closed and I've got to make this work. And so I think it's so interesting how that shift happens, right? And I'd be curious for you, what prompted it? What was it that you realized in yourself that you were doing that made you say, hold on, I need to readjust the way that I'm doing sales?
Yeah, I think I will. The main thing is the foundation of that is the intention. Because when I used to do the business, as I mentioned, I don't have a barrier of sales. I can express, I can communicate, but I think initially my intention was on the transaction mode, which means when I see people, I see a dollar sign. Tell me about it. So when I do communicate, I was, oh, there's a deal, there's another deal coming over, and I have this intention of I wanted to come across and make it happen. So because my intention was coming from desire and fear, so my energy is automatically turning into a masculine energy. I don't mean the masculine energy is bad or something. It's energy wise, it's a very pushing side because I think I need to put all the efforts and time and energy into it, right? Then I realized I try so hard, but things just doesn't come around the way I really wished for. To be honest with you, my team was really working very hard. I asked them to give me at least 5 meetings, quality meetings each week, right? Pushing hard to generate those leads and put into the funnels, and I can, talk to them and convert them. But for quite a long time, it didn't happen. After I had a soul awakening, I realized there's something in my energy field. There's a blockage. And after I spoke to my spiritual mentor, and she mentioned something actually started to make me think. Because all the intention or the generation of the sales is coming from a emptiness. Because I don't think I'm good enough. I need to generate something to prove myself. I need to come across something to make myself feel good, feel fulfilled. Because of that energy driving, make me into that mode of tracing, and people can feel it if I'm not authentic and I'm just focusing on the dollar. Then I realized this big blockage. I started to really, because since I do this spiritual work, I started to really love myself. I really started to respect my own feelings and care about myself, and then make myself started to really have the capacity and space care for others. So I changed my intention totally, because whenever I communicate with others, I truly care about them as a soul. I'm looking at their problem like my own problem. I've tried to find out the solution to help them. And the magic just happened because I totally let go of the expectation now. When I talk to someone, I just go from their perspective to figure out something I can add value, right? A lot of
Yeah.
time, all of a sudden, I didn't even talk about the sales. I didn't think about the deals. And they come up to me, oh, how does your business work and how can you help business owners to scale up? They just from curiosity. And then I explained, and naturally things just naturally happen. And to be honest with you, my team doesn't need to work like as hard as before pushing those things. I'm actually just literally be myself, literally just be myself, and then be the presence to care for others, coming from a love and light. Things just naturally unfold, naturally
Well, and
unfold.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable enough to share, because I think there is a mindset there that you have to step into and go through, and everyone's is a little bit different. But once you've made that shift, it's awesome because not only can you sell to your prospects, but you can start leading a team and you can delegate certain parts of that process because now you have a way to explain it and you have a way to make them, really be able to take on that same sort of energy. And so I know you kind of scaled up and you've got a situation now where you're running the operations genius. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, sure. I started this business because I literally had my own problem when I running up my own business. I started as a financial planner, a professional, right? And then by being a professional and then running a business is really totally different shift. There's a lot of things that I need to start to think about other than looking after clients, a lot of things behind the scenes that I need to look after. And then I found that there's many things I'm not good at, like ITs or IT accounting or marketing, those sort of stuff. I spent hours and hours. I couldn't really sort it out right. And I want to actually delegate to the VA, someone else, they spend, 10, 20 minutes, get done much better job than me. Then I decided I really need to delegate out because otherwise my energy is just constantly get draining and I can't focus on the genius in my sense. So but don't get me wrong, I had a lot of challenges and hurdles working with all different kind of VAs, communication, turnaround, the quality issues, or reliability issues, all those sort of things. Well, I was quite dedicated to make it happen. So fortunately, I finally formed a star team. Everyone is specialized in their specialties, right? Because we call it operations genius. We want everyone to focus on the genius. So, and I can customize the teams to suitable for my business to scale up to start with within my budget. Then I thought, why don't I share that with other like business owners? Everyone would need this kind of help. And I imagine that most of the business owner, to be honest, I think we all start a business with some kind of sense or maybe our uniqueness to start with. And the majority of the client, I'm not sure about you, the most majority of us enjoying collaborating with others to really add values to provide solutions, those are the genius zone part we really focus love to do, which is the sales, right? But because the other areas constantly dragging us down, we can't really focus on that part of the work, which is actively our heart to giving out, also as part of the generating the business high value task. So I started to share this resource with others. Basically, yeah, so business owner can really truly delegate the other side of the business and focus on the essence part of the business to drive the growth forward.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you start as a solopreneur and then you kind of you're like, okay, I'm doing everything, wearing every hat. There's too many layers. I'm getting hot and overwhelmed. I can't do this. And so you do at some point have to start delegating. And a lot of that
Yeah.
comes back to, what is your time worth? Where are you spending it? And who else could be the genius that could take that off of your plate? I think a lot of times it's that not wanting to give up control, or that, nobody's going to understand how to do it the way that I do it. And so how do you kind of help that individual learn to step through that fear, right? Kind of have that soul awakening of their own to say, hey, I am going to let go of this and delegate it to someone who can be the expert. Because I would imagine that was something you had to go through in your own business.
Oh yeah. I think for me it was kind of easier because I'm not DIY style. There are a lot of people they're really sufficient by themselves, in saying that they feel like they're the best to do the job. And by handling to the other people, first of all, the first fear is like, it's taking time for me to train another person, and then probably they can't really do as good as me. Or someone really started to delegate, they had a bad experience, they pull back again and say, oh, it's too much hassle. Like there's certain barriers on this journey we got to go through, but most of the people started to really go on the delegation phase is after the first two steps they come to a stage of I have to delegate, I can't handle anymore. Like there's a I think it's the same as our life, is some certain pattern happens again until we really can't handle it and we start to learn the lesson. And a lot of time for our life lesson, why I'm talking about the soul awakening is because whatever we learn from life can apply all aspects of our life, is letting go of the control. A lot of us wanted to hold on something, want to feel secure, want a certainty, and want things happen certain way to feel safe. But by doing that, it's actually blocking out a lot of possibilities. We become the bottleneck of the business. So actually, when we go through the barriers, start letting go a little bit, not like totally like that. I'm not even still on the journey, right? But it's like layer by layer, more and more, and finding the balance to really letting go of control. We started to find out, wow, teamwork will make the dream work, basically, because no, there's no perfect person, but there can be a perfect team. Right? So it is a journey, but everything will start as the first step. As far as you, I think you really want to grow and you think that you wanted to go out of the comfort zone, at least have the courage to step out, step by step. I think that will eventually roll out gradually.
Yeah, and listen, if you're in that position right now and you need to get out from under that, you're gonna have to train someone.
Mm,
And it's no matter how you like it, there's things that you do in your business that are very uniquely you, and that's what's wonderful about business is we all do things in our own way and kind of like, we have a style and a process. And
yeah.
so if you're needing to delegate, like it is so important to understand that they're never going to do it exactly how you would do it. Like I hate to break it to y'all, as long as they can get really really close, right? If you only have to do a small percentage of the portion just to make the final touches on it, having someone else do the bulk of that for you is like an absolute game changer, and it gives you the time to focus in your realm of genius. And so, Joanna, like how does someone figure out what their zone of genius is? Like how do they figure out what they should be spending their time on so that they can delegate the other stuff?
Oh, very good question. I actually went through that journey myself. Actually, interestingly, I started to change my career from financial planning to this business because of the exercise. I'd like to share with everyone. So if you have a piece of paper, you can draw four circles, one outer the other, right? From the outer circle, you can put your incompetence there, which means something you don't like to do and you're not good at it. Anything around your life, including cooking or sports, whatever, like something that you can put everything can jump there, bring dump everything incompetence. The next layer is your competence. There's something you like to do, and no, there's something you're good at, you can do very well, but you don't like that much. You don't have that passion for it, and then you can put everything there. The third layer is excellence. Is there something that you're really good at and you really like it? Can light you up. But the last layer, the most important layer, is our uniqueness as a soul. When source created us, when we hear, is a part of us, this non-replaceable, and then it's just very natural, easy for us to be part of us, right? Including in part of the sales process.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is uniquely different. So my process was actually looking at the incompetence straight away. If you figure out your incompetence, that's the very first layer for us to really delegate out. And gradually, ideally, we gradually go into the genius, layer by layer. Why I'm mentioning about it is because when I did exercise, my financial planning was actually lying in the competence zone, which means I can do it, I can do well, but I don't love that dearly. Then I start to think, oh, would that be the career I wanted to do the rest of my life? apparently no, right? There's something missing there. My heart is not singing. So that's why I actually rebranded and re-navigate and then find a way it really lights me up. Like not the current business, because my genius zone is about finding the solution, solve the problem, really leading the team and caring about the team and the members, help them to grow. And that was my submission, and so power as well. So there you go. It's actually taking the journey for us to find out who we are as a uniqueness, and then layer by layer gradually delegate out.
I think that was very well put, and I appreciate you sharing that because there's so many different ways people can look at this process, but it's good to have a process, right? It's like, okay, here's the stuff that I just do not want to do. I'm not interested in, right? It could be laundry, it could be filling
Yeah,
out Excel spreadsheets, it could be anything. Just
exactly.
put it on the list. And
Yes,
then where I think it gets tricky is there's stuff that people like to do and they do, but it's not the best use of their time. And
that's
those are
so
the
true.
things that are difficult to kind of let go of. So, what do you see those most often being the things that people kind of like to do and they're still doing, even though they probably shouldn't?
Okay, I think in that sense there will be a priority act. Like that's part of my role as well. When I actually work with someone to really go into layer by layer, help them to prioritize, and then
Mm,
even from that prioritized list, we can find a way, even for the certain part of the part, for the repetitive or someone can really easy stuff. Part of that can let someone else to do, so they can still focus on the part of the essence part they're really good at, and the most important thing is stay happy when they do it, and they really energize them. That's the more part.
mm,
We wouldn't actually delegate that part because it will hardly be replaced. Also, that's us. Like, so I think we can analyze the way to delegate strategically. It's not like a total yes or no, 0 to 100. It's always a balancing act, I feel. And that's my role actually in this whole process, guiding our clients as a long-term partner on the skill up journey, because I'm one of you. I've been through, done that. And I've got the
mm.
resources. And I just want to help to how to leverage the resource to strategically scale up. Mm.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. That was a great explanation. I appreciate that. And it is so fun to have these conversations because even in our own business, as we grow and start shifting and things are always changing, right? That's the thing that about business is that it's not a 0 or a 1. It's always something new, whether it's in your personal life, you got things going on and you're trying to adjust to
Yeah,
your business, or in your business, you're growing like crazy and you're trying to handle hiring and delegating in a way that doesn't lose your vision, because I think that's also something that gets to be kind of a struggle mentally for people when it's time, like they don't want someone else to take. It's like handing over your baby, it's like, hey,
yeah,
this is the
I
thing that I've
know.
loved and grown. So what do you recommend for those that are kind of feeling like they're nervous to hand things over, but like, what advice do you have for
I would say there's a huge life lesson behind it, can be trust. And a lot of time we don't trust that the thing happens certain way. We don't trust other souls can do things, in a way that we feel like. One thing is the trust, and but a lot of time that reflect to us that whenever we don't actually trust others, there must be something reflect to ourselves. Certain part of ourselves we don't trust ourselves. Actually, if we don't have for ourselves, it's very hard for us to give others. Probably if we actually encounter this situation, start to reflect what exactly I don't trust myself. Probably that's the first step. And then gradually the trust can be built. Of course, it depends on who you work with and how you work with. That's another series of the topic. One thing is trust. The other one is can be lack of expectation, because I used to be controlling freak. Like I
them?
was very picky for certain things to happen certain ways. But once I started to change myself from title leader into a serving leader, start to understand that others give us support, I find that once I give other people space and start to trust them, they often surprise me. When we used to have a limitation in our brain, the things need to happen just this way and it will be the best way. Who knows? We never know. Some other ways may turn out totally surprising us, give us unlimited possibilities. So I think these two things probably we can look into as a life lesson, which is holding us back from business. It actually reflects all the side of our life too, with any relationship. Yeah, so probably anything we encounter in our business or anywhere is something for us to learn to grow as a soul.
Ooh-wee, that was very well put. And Joanna, I would love to sit here and nerd out on this with you all day because I can see the passion and I'm having a great time. But I want to respect your time. How do we come find you, follow you, check out more of your content? I'm sure this is just the tip of the iceberg of all the amazing things that you share.
Sure, thank you so much. I think the easiest way to find me is from LinkedIn. If you put my name Joanna Zhang, I'll show up. If multiple of myself, you can put operations beside it. I believe the right myself would turn up. And another thing is I like to really thank you for your time and this opportunity. I love to share a free guide with the audience as a value add. This guide I created for the solopreneurs, especially for someone who is really sufficient by themselves and will do a lot of things on themselves and really want to grow. So this guide is called How to Feel Unstuck and Get more time and energy back. So those guides help you to really identify a few areas of business. You can start to consider delegation. And once you figure it out, feel free to connect with me. We can have a conversation and I'll give you some ideas, to help you to navigate out that path on the scale up journey.
I love that. How do we come find the guide?
Oh, I will provide the link. You can put it in the show notes so people can actually download it and we can go from there.
That would be awesome. And let me just personally thank you for your time today. This has been an awesome conversation. And not only did I learn some things, but I know the listener is going to have some gems to take back and think about today.
Grateful. Thanks so much for the opportunity and time. Thank you.
Listen, if you enjoyed the show and you got some value out of it, go share it on social media. Tag us on LinkedIn. Let the world know that you invested some time. You got something. Maybe you know someone who is a control freak and they need to delegate some of the things so that they can have a life. Send them this episode. I'm not saying you got to tell them they're a control freak, but hey, I listened to this episode. I think you might get some value out of it. Check it out. And then go leave us a review. Listen to some of our past episodes. We have all kinds of content and amazing stories just like Joanna's. And if you have a story of your own and you'd want to be a guest, head to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your details. We'll get you on the calendar. We'd love to hear your story. Then go grab some swag, maybe a hat, a t-shirt, some wristbands, something like that. Share it with your team because you know what to do. Go pick up the phone. Call the damn leads. We'll see you next time.
When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind at speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.